that intuition or that connection that we have with nature that everybody has. But I think that we've lost the knowledge of how do we foster this relationship in a way that isn't exploitative to the planet. I learned so many just life lessons working with the land. If the land isn't working with me, what's something that I can do, stop and pause and figure out, what am I doing wrong actually? The land's not doing anything wrong. Being able to humble myself and learn that there's a bigger force in control, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm Jamira, and I am an artist, activist, farmer. Getting to know plants and being around plants, being outside in the earth is certainly my passion. Being an educator is certainly my passion, and working with people, I really, really love working with people within the garden. In college, I majored in environmental studies with a concentration in global environmental politics. The curriculum within my environmental studies department seemed to favor scholars that didn't really have anything to do with me. And they seemed to paint worlds of the environment where I didn't see myself fitting into. And it wasn't until I started to focus on food that I started to see more people, more representation, I would say, from people from my own community and people who cared about things that I care about as it relates to the environment. As a part of that major, I was required to do an internship, and I chose to intern at an urban farm. And from all the urban farms that I worked, there was always an educational component to them. So then I went into the educator sphere within farming and eventually gravitated towards community gardens. I love community gardens and working in community gardens because you don't only connect with community, you connect with yourself. The nature of community gardens is to mitigate climate change. The actual physical location where carbon sequestration is happening, and then also being an informational hub within a community where people can come and learn how to grow food or how to compost and how to take care of themselves. Nothing in the garden goes to waste, from the plants to any excess material. This is the first site that I came in contact with aquaponics. This is the only outdoor education aquaponics center in all of New York City that is open and accessible to the public. Aquaponics is a closed-loop water system where you raise fish and plants in a symbiotic ecosystem. And basically you feed your fish and the fish stool, and then that stool is what fertilizes the plants, and then the plants soak up those nutrients from the waste and clean that water, and then the water is then sent back with pumps and electricity back to the fish, and then the water is just going around and around and around. Nothing goes to waste because not even the fish waste is going to waste, and that fish waste is a resource. We have options. We have autonomy over the things that we choose to do, and whether we choose to act in a way ignoring all of the signs about climate change, or act in a way where you realize that something needs to change, and it's my behavior as it pertains to the earth. We can change what we're doing, and we can create a plan, and we can see that plan through. I always love giving people things from the garden and seeing their reactions and sharing, because there's so much to give. I just see myself as a middleman between them and the earth, ultimately. And I think it's just a great stepping stone for them to appreciate this space so much more and see why there need to be more places like this. I love those interactions because it fosters that intuition that I think everybody has that makes them want to come back to these green spaces and also makes them want to enter initially. We want to see this industry grow, and we want to see more green spaces and growing spaces, and we want to create opportunities for young farmers within the city to flourish. I stay motivated by staying focused, ultimately feeding off of that energy that I get from community, feeding off of that energy that I get from just that one person who says through the gate, like, hey, the garden looks good. Because you can get fueled and motivated by anger all the time, but I think it's like a quick burnout. And So I think being more motivated by these loving exchanges that come to fruition by my work in the garden spaces, yeah, these loving exchanges keep me motivated.